What if I told you that the most intense signs of a woman's desire aren't spoken? They're silent, subconscious, and hiding in the smallest, almost invisible details of her body language. If you miss them, you miss everything. But if you learn to read them right, you'll unlock a magnetic power no words could ever give you. Ready to see what most men overlook? Let's dive deep into the unspoken signals that reveal when she's truly turned on before she ever says a word. 1. The eye drop and snap, the body's betrayal of desire. The eyes are the body's first betrayers. When a woman's nervous system responds to your presence, her pupils dilate, almost without realization. She wants to hold eye contact but can't sustain it. Her gaze lingers too long, then darts down sharply as though she just remembered something urgent. That downward dip isn't awkwardness, it's surrender. This split second is evolution, making herself visible and invisible at once. She wants to look because her subconscious is tracking you. Then she snaps away, pulling back before awareness catches up. That's primal submission, a fleeting admission of attraction before etiquette intervenes. In that moment, most men impulsively lean in or try to warm the vibe. That kills the tension, the kind that builds internal curiosity. But if you keep your posture still, stoic, grounded, you become the constant in her shifting world. The eye drop extends, becomes curiosity. The glance becomes an invitation she can never quite explain to others or herself. 2. Crossed legs and the pelvic lock, the body's silent regulation. At first glance, crossed legs seem habitual, polite, comfortable. Yet when arousal stirs, this posture becomes a containment mechanism. The pelvic tilt intensifies, the thighs press in, the legs cross not to hide you from view, but to manage rising tension. It's called muscular guarding, a subconscious effort to regulate internal pressure where the nervous system is flooded. Her hips roll forward slightly. She shifts subtly, presses her legs together, bounces an ankle, or wraps a foot around a chair leg without thinking. You might misinterpret this as disengagement, like she's closing off, but it's the bare edge of arousal, coiling force. If you lean forward or invade space, you destabilize that coil. When you hold your ground, she notices. That tension deepens, not in her physical comfort, but in her processing. She starts trying to reconcile her body's noise with her conscious narrative. That mental tension molds into desire. Weeks later, she'll recall how she couldn't stop fidgeting, how her body ached with unspoken charge, and ultimately, she'll remember you as the one who understood without needing a word. 3. The tone shift, vocal physics of arousal. Arousal doesn't just stay under the skin, it colors the voice. When her nervous system is triggered by subtle attraction, her breathing slows or grows shallow, her larynx softens, her pitch briefly adjusts. Words turn breathy, speech becomes slower or breathier, laughter lighter and playful without reason. This tone shift is not performance, it's physiological. A fraction of her breathing rhythm changes. The quiet pauses begin to have rhythm, giggles slip into the gaps between sentences. Questions are asked without curiosity. That's desire asking for proximity and not meaning it. If you meet that tone with matching energy, louder jokes rushing through conversation, you extinguish its intimacy. Instead, hold your pace slow. Let your silence speak. Let your voice remain unaffected. In contrast, her vocal rhythm becomes a raw confession, a sound shaped by nervous system responses, not strategy. That's when her tone curves inward toward you, almost magnetically. 4. Self-touch, her body summoning. Comfort in the tension of self-touch isn't flirtation, it's internal regulation. When she brushes her neck, caresses her collarbone, palms her thigh, or traces a ring, she's soothing herself, not seducing. A nervous system flooded by arousal needs release. needs a locus of control. These micro-gestures are her body's language when words aren't available. These touches often target sensitive zones: inner wrist, front of the neck, base of the throat, thigh, because that's where nerve endings amplify relief. It's almost automatic. Rising arousal finds its outlet in her hands. By now, most men would interpret it as boredom or politely ask what's wrong. But the man who stays still, who doesn't comment, becomes the calm eye in her storm. Her own body is admitting to desires she can't speak. She's regulating energy because it's stirred too deeply. You don't need to exploit it. You just need to let it be. That restraint becomes louder than any flirtation. 5. Agitated legs. The body, agitating with unspoken energy. The dance of arousal can be leg-bound. When a woman's nervous system is triggered silently, that energy often discharges through the lower body: a bouncing foot, a twitching knee, hips repositioning every few seconds. It's called psychomotor agitation, movement without volition, pure physiological pacing. It's not restlessness or discomfort. It's your presence generating kinetic tension within her. Her legs start reacting before her brain understands why. Most men see motion and react, ask a question, push the conversation, invade space. But you don't. You let the movement breathe. The silence, and your stillness, creates a vacuum she can't ignore. Inside it, her brain asks, "What is this strength? Why am I reacting like this? Why won't he move in?" That internal questioning transforms tension into longing. The movement becomes memory. 6. Overtalk, then silence, cognitive collapse under desire. At first she may chatter, stories, questions, random thoughts, over-explaining to fill spaces. It's a defense mechanism. Stay busy, don't feel. But suddenly the chatter cuts off. She goes quiet. Eye contact falters. Words stop mid-flow. This is not disengagement, it's consciousness. The moment her mind catches up with her body, she pauses. She processes the swirling tension inside, realizes she was performing, but performance stops when awareness begins. Most men fill the silence. They fear it's dying. They speak too soon, joke awkwardly, ask if she's tired. That kills the moment. A stoic man lets it stretch. He doesn't lean in or speak. He exists in the stillness. Because that silence is desire reorienting itself. It's not every woman who sits with it, but the ones who do begin to unravel. That's when internal attraction becomes uncontainable. Final depth, seduction in the stillness. Every movement, every fleeting glance, every tone shifts. These aren't accidents. They're biology, wired up when arousal meets composure. You don't need lines or maneuvers. You need stillness, presence, non-reaction. When you hold the field, the signals you see are confession, not calculations. Her nervous system reveals more than words ever could. And when you don't chase or respond hastily, you let her self-awareness emerge. That's where desire is rooted, not in performance, but presence. This is the architecture of seduction built in silence,